Hi everyone, today I want to explain how ETS raters grade your essays. Understanding this process is valuable because it reveals what qualities they seek when reading your work. Let's start by looking at what ETS says about a score 5 response. A response at this level successfully selects the important information from the lecture and coherently and accurately presents this information in relation to the relevant information presented in the reading. The response is well organized, and occasional language errors that are present do not result in inaccurate or imprecise presentation of content or connections. So, what do you need to demonstrate to achieve a perfect score 5? It all boils down to two key criteria: topic development and language use. Topic development. Extract key information from the reading and explain how the lecture analyzes it. This means identifying the main idea and important details. Present the information in a coherent and logical manner. In essence, you need to persuasively explain the reasoning behind both the reading and the lecture. Ensure your presentation of information is accurate. Everything you say should be based on the content of both the reading and the lecture. Language use. Clarity is king. As long as the rater can understand your ideas clearly, you won't lose points for language. Excessive grammar errors can cost you points. If your writing makes it difficult for the rater to grasp your meaning, your score will likely suffer. Impress the rater with sophisticated language. Employ a variety of sentence structures and high-level vocabulary, not just from the reading and lecture, to express your ideas effectively. Remember, this can boost your score. Holistic grading. Think of the rater starting with a score of 3 in mind. Your performance in topic development and language use can either maintain that score or push it up. Score 4 pitfalls. Omitting crucial information needed to understand the reasoning behind both texts. Occasional instances of incorrect paraphrasing or reasoning. Unclear sections due to sporadic grammar errors. Score 3 territory. Frequent occurrence of the problems mentioned above, hindering the rater's understanding of your ideas. Generalizing ideas without sufficient elaboration on details from the reading and lecture. With these criteria in mind, let's examine some sample essays graded by the rater. This essay achieved a score of 5, as determined by an ETS rater. Now, you might be surprised to learn that this response barely mentions the reading. It's only referenced at the end of each paragraph in a single sentence, offering a contrasting viewpoint. Interestingly, I've noticed that the sample essays provided by ETS consistently exhibit this format, starting with the lecturer's claim, devoting most of the response to explaining the lecture's arguments, and then briefly contrasting the lecturer's position with the readings in a concluding sentence. Therefore, incorporating this style template into my next video lecture seems worthwhile. Now, let's consider an essay that scored 4. Starting with the lecture like the score 5 essay we just saw, it seems familiar at first. However, upon closer examination, several glaring problems emerge. The most crucial omission is the complete absence of any discussion about the reading. This is a major misstep, as connecting the lecture and the reading is an essential aspect of this task. For that alone, I would have to deduct a point. Adding to the initial impression, the essay starts off weakly with some misspellings. Based solely on the essay's length and these early errors, I'd be inclined to initially consider a score of 3. Miraculously, things take a turn for the better as we progress. Notice how the 4th paragraph introduces relevant details and demonstrates a clearer understanding of the concepts. This improvement might explain why the ETS rater landed on a score of 4 for this essay. Let's shift our focus to another example, one that earned the coveted score of 5. This essay immediately stands out as the work of a native English speaker, or so it seems. The way the ideas are expressed, the carefully chosen phrasing, and the strategic use of hedging words almost make me question if it's an ETS rater in disguise. But whoever crafted this masterpiece, there's no denying its hands-down perfection, a true score 5 essay in every sense. Let's turn our attention to this essay and dissect its strengths and weaknesses. While it's well organized and presents a decent flow of information, it stumbles in two crucial areas: clarity and reasoning. Firstly, the essay lacks clarity in attributing statements. Phrases like, "we know that," in the 3rd paragraph leave readers wondering who's speaking. It's crucial to be specific about the source of information to avoid ambiguity and maintain a clear line of argument. Secondly, the reasoning presented throughout the essay seems flawed. While the author might be attempting to connect the lecture and the reading, the arguments lack sufficient depth and logical coherence. This weakness ultimately undermines the essay's effectiveness, despite its decent length. Therefore, both the ETS rater and I agree that this essay deserves a score of 3. It shows potential but needs significant improvement in clarity and logical reasoning to reach higher levels. So, what key lesson do we take away from analyzing these essays in the watchful eyes of the ETS rater? Remember that template floating around Facebook, the one that starts with a bland, both the reading and the lecture are about? Well, guess what? It's not your ticket to a perfect score. In fact, none of the essays we dissected that used that formula even sniffed a 5. Let's ditch these generic templates and join me in the next lecture.